Okay, we're going to talk about spinal degeneration and how to reverse it. Let's get into this. So when we look at this, this is the side view of a normal spine. The spine gets its strength from the curves, not from the muscles. So when people are saying, give me a back strengthening exercise, yeah, all of those are ligamentous-based exercises. That's why on the sheet that you have, they're literally every exercise I give is to change the ligaments, okay? And the discs are ligaments. And so when you look at this, we should have a normal curves in the spine where the top of the spine should be over the bottom. And it's like that because it's designed for shock absorbing. But also when you alter those normal curves, like let's say loss of curve, reverse curve, lumbar whiplash, this is super common. What you're looking at is the spinal cord itself gets compressed. Now, I don't care about the spine, but I do care about that central nervous system that's housed by it. So when you look at what normal structures are, that means that you have normal spacing where the spinal cord is. Now, the heart, just take the heart. The heart has two nerve supplies. One at the top, and that's the parasympathetic nervous system, and one from T1 through T4, that's the sympathetic. So the heart has two nerve supplies. The stomach, spleen, kidney, liver, all of those are governed by the end of the spinal cord, which is down here. And any pressure on that area can negatively affect the entire gastrointestinal tract. And if you have, and this is huge, this is why we look at the spine, and next time somebody puts a lock on this, I'll tell them to not. The spine holds the central nervous system that controls every function of the body. It controls blood pressure, cholesterol, digestion, sexual function, everything. And when that nervous system is clear of interference, the body can correctly adapt. If the body is in a stress state, it's going to respond correctly. And so when you get, and you're in, God bless my kid patients, they don't have high blood pressure, but they do have bowel disorders, seizures, they have a bunch of things going on. Okay, and my adult patients come in with a diagnosis of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, bowel disorders, and none of those are an issue. I say, look, your body is responding absolutely correctly based on the stimulus. So now when you look at this, the discs, there are 80 interconnecting rings of ligamentous tissue. And what's a trip is these discs have a horrible blood supply. In fact, if you were to cut the entire body off from here up over the size of like a 50-cent piece, a little tiny disc like this, you're looking at maybe 50 to 80 kilos of pressure. So blood vessels down on these discs would be compressed. They would be crushed. That's why these discs get their nutrients from movement. So the correct movement, the correct nutrients to that disc. So if you have alteration in movement, you're altering the nutrients to that disc. Does that make sense? Now, what the body is going to do, if that disc can't get its nutrients, the disc becomes closer and closer. And we see this on x-ray. Now, what's going to happen is the body is going to increase the surface area. So we have a normal surface area, normal disc. When the disc gets compressed, it becomes unstable. And the body increases that surface area, okay, to stabilize the disc. Now, doctors will call this osteoarthritis. Arth means joint, itis means inflammation, even though osteoarthritis is non-inflammatory joint condition. Okay, it's also called degenerative disc disease. Being called degenerative disc disease, you'd think it's a disease, but it's not a disease. So it's from trauma. So this is really the body adapting to long-term alteration in movement. Now, if you have, and you can see everything on x-ray, you can see where there's like bone spurs. Idiot doctors will call those bone spurs. They're not. They're literally the body doing everything it can to stabilize it. Now, what's a trip is by creating inflammation at this joint, by restoring the curves, literally we're adjusting, we're providing a force loading here to create inflammation at the disc. that disc will start to regenerate. And then if you give exercises to restore, to go from the loss or reversal of the curve to restore the normal curve, then you restore the normal force loading. Normal force loading causes that disc to regenerate. And this is why we do pre and post x-rays at 30 adjustments, 60 adjustments, 90 adjustments, 120 adjustments, so we can document that those discs get larger. But what does that do to the brain? By gosh, you're getting pressure off of the central nervous system, the nervous system that controls and coordinates every function of the body. If that nervous system is in a stress state, the body will be in a stress state. And the body only has two switches. You can be in stress or regeneration. This is stress. This is a normal adaptive function. That means the form actually follows the function. So, and the function follows the form. So you have to de-stress this area out, restore the natural curves, create inflammation that will restore the discs. But what's a trip is, like I taught human dissection on and off for about 8 years. You can take a probe that looks kind of like a pen. You can pass it in bone pretty damn easy. You can't beat it into a disc with a hammer. The discs are so incredibly tough. They're 80 interconnecting rings of ligament, super strong. But when you have an alteration in movement, that disc gets compressed, and people will call it a herniated disc, a bulge disc. If parts of the disc break off, it's a disc sequestration. None of these things are really big problems at all, because you can take this joint here, separate it, create a negative pressure, and that disc material will go back in, and the discs are alive. So discs can regenerate. But you have to change the force loading on them. You have to make sure that that body gets correct movement. Correct movement will allow correct nutrients, and then the body can regenerate. This is why arthritis can be reversed if caught in time. This is why we do static and stress x-rays to document that there is movement at those areas. And if there is movement, then you can regenerate that disc. Does that make sense? So they say, we're not doctors of the spine. A real chiropractor is a doctor of the nervous system. And knowing that the doctor of the nervous system can alter autonomic function, you're talking digestion, blood pressure, cholesterol, immune system function, menstrual issues, fertility issues, all of those things are really the body adapting to stress, or they're functioning correctly because your body is functioning correctly. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Any questions? Yeah, the red part in the inside of the disc is called the nucleus pulposus. But one of the things that's interesting, I had a patient, he was a neurosurgeon, reverse curve in his neck, and his hands were going numb, which makes sense because all the nerves that supply the hand come out of the base of the neck here. So if you have carpal tunnel syndrome, golfer elbow, tennis elbow, or rotator cuff problems, those are all problems with the lower portion of the neck. Now, I asked him, well, actually, I told him, I said, we've got to regenerate the discs. And he said, regenerate discs? And I said, yeah, well, I mean, and so I had to walk him through it. But then talking to this doctor really made me realize why they never see discs regenerate. What's the first line of therapy they give to anyone with back pain or neck pain? They give a drug. And it's not that they're not taught anatomy and physiology. Their main focus is on symptom and the therapies to give to decrease that symptom. Because if they were taught that the body is self-healing and self-regulating, if they got somebody with high blood pressure or high cholesterol, they would go in and say, your body is responding correctly based on the stimulus. If they got somebody with movement disorders, they'd say your body is responding correctly based on the stimulus. If they got somebody with bowel disorders, your body is responding correctly based on the stimulus. Okay, and that would completely change the medical world. They'd all be corrective chiropractors. Does that make sense? Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Okay, good. So the bone distorts in shape based on the force load. Now, when you change this and create inflammation, that disc, it gets larger. Does that bone spur or that bone change go back to normal? Yes, it does. And that's actually a law of anatomy. It's called Wolff's Law. Bone is laid down where it's needed, resorb where it's not. And this is why you are never going to see bone spurs negatively affecting the body. They're literally, the bone spurs are doing everything it can to stabilize it. Because you figure in this spinal canal is the most important area of the body. If you have any damage on this, the brain actually extends the top third of the neck, and that's the cardiac and respiratory center. If you alter the nerve supply in this area, you're altering the heart function. Right at the junction of the rib cage and low back, that's the spinal cord ends there. And so any pressure on this area is going to negatively affect the entire gastrointestinal tract. So the body has all these sensors. And so when you restore that motion through Wolff's Law, bones lay down where it's needed, resorb where it's not, you hydrate that disc, and the bone spurs aren't needed, and it literally just goes away. And we'll document that on the x-rays, the post x-rays. That's why we take them, to make sure that your biomechanics throughout the day, you're sitting with the foam piece or doing the neck curve exercise, your body is functioning correctly. Okay, does that make sense? Because if I go in there and I'm adjusting a reverse curve, loss of curve, reverse lumbar curve, if I'm adjusting degenerated spine, I want to make sure that my adjustments are correct and the biomechanics that you have during the day are correct. And so we want to restore that back to normal. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's why I like the objective analysis of actually measuring stuff. Okay? God bless y'all. Kapun krap.